Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Spiritual Daosith. I'm Daosith Lemay. Hope every one of you brothers, sisters, soul fam out there are doing great wherever you are. And if you're having a tough time, know that I'm sending you a virtual hug of love and light. And I hope that helps you as you go forward here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this. I hope it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, just leave it. These just happen to be my truths and my experiences. They don't have to be yours. But if you do like it and you enjoy the material, feel free to subscribe and follow and check out my other social media platforms where you may find other things that I share of value. And I'll put that in the description box below. So I think given the fact that we're coming out of the 11/11 gate here in November and the numerology is around the number 8 in general, I wanted to talk a little bit about the law of attraction. The law of attraction, and perhaps this gives you insight into your own life and can be helpful for you as you go forward. So, what is the law of attraction? What is the law of attraction? Many of you have heard this phrase before. And it's basically in the spiritual world what we would say that what you focus or put your time and energy and attention into will some way manifest into your reality. I talk about this at length, giving an entire chapter in my book, Becoming the Creator, The Practical Guide to Spirituality and Connection. In chapter 2 here of my book called The Law of Attraction. All right, I go at length and in details about this, and I want to preface this entire video with the idea that let's remove ourselves from the hijacked version of the law of attraction that many of us are subject to, around the idea that the law of attraction is used to manifest some type of materialistic desire in your life. I think that's been hijacked, and I think you should consider the version, in my experience, what the law of attraction is, because I think it's better for your highest good and can bring you a little bit more, I would say, peace and joy around that. In my version, or what I would say the law of attraction is the mechanics of how the universe or source seeks to understand itself. Okay? I want to be crystal clear that the law of attraction is about understanding who you are as source through the universe rather than trying to manifest a physical, material desire into your life. I think that would offer you an experience or an understanding that would offer you far more joy and peace and clarity compared to the hijacked version of trying to manifest some type of desire into your reality. Because the law of attraction is more than just merely an existence, a mechanism for you to satisfy your earthly human desires. It's beyond just your ego satisfaction in what you have. That is a very limited way of looking at the law of attraction. And to me, the law of attraction exists because we are source creators. We are a aspect, a fragment of source, made of the same love and power as source, seeking to understand itself through this human existence, which is you. And the means by which we understand ourselves is through the law of attraction. How can you learn about yourself? How can you see yourself if there was no rhyme or reason? How could you learn to see within you if there is nothing to reflect back the truth about you? Otherwise, it'd just be randomness that you wouldn't be able to pull things out and extract data from to understand and analyze yourself and to see what you are holding on to. How could you be able to see the mirror within your experiences so that you could see the truth in the things that you're holding on to, the beliefs, and how you're projecting your reality? So to me, the law of attraction is necessary for you as a creator to be able to understand and to seek to understand yourself. And it is vital. It is always there. It is a constant law by which you interact with, by which we all interact with. Oh my God, can you imagine what our life would look like if we didn't have the law of attraction? No rhyme or reason, none of the synchronicities that we'd have in numbers, events, and places, and people, none of the coincidences that have occurred in our life, the people that we have around us, and the things that we've done in this world. No rhyme, no reason. Imagine the chaos that would ensue if there was no rhyme or reason, or no law of attraction. Our universe would be completely different, okay? So, you have to also remember that as creator beings, as vibrationally energetic beings, that we are part of Source. We are created from the same love and joy and energy that is from Source. We are essentially just sound and geometry coming together and bringing light and vibration. And through that expression of which we are, Source fragment, holding on to an energetic belief that exerts its frequency out into the universe to match it with whatever it is that we are co-creating with, so that we can see an aspect of ourselves within that creation. It's much like a tuning fork. Think about a tuning fork where you hit one tuning fork, right? And that thing vibrates at a certain frequency. And then what you do is you bring up another tuning fork that isn't vibrating at all. And all of a sudden that tuning fork starts to pick up that vibration. Okay, that's essentially what is happening with you in the universe. You're holding on to an energetic frequency, an energetic belief, an energetic thought, an expression in which the universe seeks to understand itself by mimicking the exact same frequency which you are holding on to, so that you as a creator can see that frequency in your reality, by which you can look inward to see what that is all about and to experience it for all that it is. All right. I say that in tangent with what my guides have told me. We have influence on our reality. When if you've read my book, I give you an example where my guides told me, you look around you. You are exerting your frequency on the reality that you are existing in, and you are influencing it. This is partly because you are not separated from Source. You are only in the illusion of separation because of the different frequencies that are broken out. Although all the energy comes from Source, we are only seeing the illusion of separation because of the different states of frequencies that which everything exists in our reality, right? That's why we feel separate. We see things as separate, but in the truth of it, it is only through difference of vibration that gives us the separation, but it's all the same energy from Source. It's the same energy since the Big Bang or whatever theory they want to come up with. It is the same energy from Source, and you are part of that. Okay? And because you are part of that, Source gives you the love, Source gives you all the power that which you need to understand what you are as Source moving through this universe. Okay? So in that sense, you understand why the law of attraction is needed. You understand that it is important. And to be honest, the universe will always deliver what you want. Just sometimes you may not be understanding of what it is that the universe is bringing to you. And that's something I'll touch upon in regards to the law of attraction a little bit later. So I hear a lot of people say this statement: the law of attraction is broken. The law of attraction is broken. And I always want to bring this up because they're upset about something about in their own reality of not receiving something that they think they've done all the work for and they should be able to manifest in their reality. Is the law of attraction by which we are understanding ourselves, that is constant within our reality and the primary mechanism for us to understand ourselves, is it actually broken? From my point of view and my truth, it's not. I would suggest no, right? And let's be honest, let's get to the heart of what we're trying to say when we say that the law of attraction is broken. The mechanism by which we learn to understand ourselves as source through this universe is working, or doesn't completely work, or it's broken. You got to ask yourself, well, okay, it seems to be working in many facets of our life. So what part of the law of attraction are we talking about? Are we talking about the fact that it's not bringing you something that you desire, and that part is broken? What part of this is broken? Is it broken sometimes, or is it broken and it's working some other times? When is it actually broken? Is it broken when it doesn't deliver the things that you want, and it works when you receive the things that you want? Are we saying it's broken because you aren't getting the things that you want? You're starting to see the human error, earthly ego thing kind of playing into these questions when people start to say the law of attraction actually doesn't work, etc. To me, when someone says that, it sounds more like a state of misinterpretation or misunderstanding of the law of attraction, because you've scapegoated your frustrations about your own life onto the law of attraction being broken. In fact, by taking that stance, when you say the law of attraction is broken, it doesn't work, etc., it sounds more of a disempowered state. That what you do and what you create and the things that you're putting your attention and energy into, the universe does not deliver on that, and it gives you something else, and therefore it's broken. It's a very disempowered state, and no offense to anybody who is in this alignment, it's a very victim-based reality. You're saying that the love of the universe by which you were created, by which you are part of, whole, but also a fragment of, given the power and the creativity to create and to do what you wish, to understand yourself as source being, is cast outside of source because the law of attraction is broken and it doesn't work for you. I assure you that is not true. I assure you, when you say that the law of attraction is broken or it doesn't work, then you are saying it from a state of victimhood. I have lived in a state of victimhood, disempowered beliefs. And I assure you, from what I saw in my reality, everything that was brought into manifestation, that which I put my own energy into, that which I could understand, what I saw and experienced in my reality, the law of attraction was alive and well, because a lot of my life, 360 degrees, I could tell you, was around victim-based mentality, disempowered states. And if the law of attraction wasn't working at that time, I wouldn't be able to extrapolate that data, that information, to seek inwards to understand what were my core beliefs, etc., because there would be no rhyme or reason associated with that. I can understand the sentiments when it comes to saying the law of attraction is broken, being a victim-based or disempowered, or having a misunderstanding of the law of attraction. I can understand where you're coming from, but I can't align with that truth. That truth doesn't reflect what we're seeing in totality of the entire universe when everyone else experiences the law of attraction for what it is. It just, perhaps your understanding of it may be off, because in reality it's playing out all the time, in constant, all right? And I'll say this. Here's an example. Look at your life. Look at the people you have surrounded in your life. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, the relationships you have surrounded yourself with. Are they there by accident? Or are they there by purpose? Is there a connection between all of those peoples in your relationship? Is there a commonality and a vibrational connection by which you have those people in your life? That is why I say in my book, positive people hang out with positive people. Negative people hang out with negative people. You normally don't see those two mismatching together or mashing together, because positive people don't like hanging out with negative people, and negative people don't like hanging out with positive people, right? Think about your education, early childhood. What do we have? High school, cliques, jocks, drama, the academic people, you know, all those things. Those guys came together because of a common vibrational likeness by which they brought together via the law of attraction and created their own little community. To seek to understand themselves as source. And that's why people in the business world try to mimic successful people, because being them, taking on their vibration by taking on their behavior, the characteristics, their experiences, the things that they do will hopefully drive them to more success. If the law of attraction wasn't working, we wouldn't be doing that, because it would be no reason for us to follow these successful people, because there would be no consequence or causation for us to have more success in our life if the law of attraction wasn't working. So you got to look at your life. Look at your life and ask yourself, if you're saying that the law of attraction doesn't work and where you're frustrated with that, and seeing where else are you frustrated about the same thing in other aspects of your life. I've done this many times in regards to the law of attraction and trying to find a pattern in your life. If you're frustrated with the law of attraction because it's not delivering something to your life, you got to ask the question, what is this frustration about? Why is it that I'm actually trying to manifest this? And I have a simple writing exercise for you to do. In my book, I said, take down a piece of paper and write down in different columns different aspects of your life. Your romantic relationships, your friendships, your body image, your other relationships at coworkers, how you're seen in the world, etc. All your financial aspects of your life. Write down all these different aspects of your life. And then what I want you to do is just, based on the frustration that you were trying to manifest via the law of attraction, where does that play out in other areas of your life? Write down all the areas, write down all the frustrations that you have in all those other aspects of your life. And I bet you, I'm willing to bet you, that you find the same pattern showing up in all those other areas of your life. It's a 360 degree pattern showing up all over the place. It's just, unfortunately, you've taken the myopic, fear, disempowered state, which creates your vision, which closes you down and limits you to be able to see beyond just this one part, and where you're putting your frustration, your scapegoating on the law of attraction because you're trying to meet an egotistic thing, because you've gone on to the hijacked version, the materialistic version of the law of attraction. And I assure you that aspect is showing up in all the other aspects of your life. You can basically look at all the columns of your life and write down all the things that are going wrong, and you can probably draw a line connecting each one of those things, because they're the same energy playing out in different ways throughout your life because of the law of attraction. That's exactly what happened with me with my disempowered victim-based mentality. Okay? I also can tell you it happened to me when I dealt with money in abundance, surviving versus thriving. Okay? I lived a life of survivorhood. If you look at my childhood, you'll understand about that, but I looked at through abundance through surviving, all right? And because of that surviving belief, the law of attraction brought all these experiences to me to make me feel like I was surviving mode. Surviving, and I was never getting ahead in life. It wasn't until I looked at those aspects that played out in all parts of my life, understood the beliefs, understood why I was creating that I was able to break through and move towards thriving in my abundance, thriving in the world where which it all existed. I was just limiting myself because of what I was holding on to. But the only way I could see it was through the law of attraction and be able to see how I was creating, by which to understand myself as source through this universe, so that I could shift that energy out into something different. Okay? You better believe that if you're frustrated with the law of attraction, it's because you have misunderstood what the law of attraction is about, and you haven't gotten to the place where you're able to see what you need to see. Okay? If you're frustrated in this one aspect of the manifestation of the law of attraction, you better believe it's playing out everywhere else in your life. Do my writing exercise. I've got a video on that somewhere in my YouTube channel here. Highly recommend you check it out so that you can understand how to go through that exercise and to discover the pattern and see where else these things are playing out, because it's not just happening here. It's happening everywhere else in your reality. Okay. There are a few things to consider with regards to the law of attraction. A few things to consider. Number one, not to spiritually bypass ourselves here, right? But there's something to be said about you being a part of Source, being a fragment of Source, right? As a fragment of Source, there are aspects to you that encompasses more of Source. That would be your higher self, the monad, the oversoul, etc. Don't forget that there is a higher aspect to you as well. And that higher aspect, before you came into this human incarnation, you were totally part of, you were totally aware of, you understood what you were doing. You had a desire, an experience by which you wanted to fulfill in this lifetime. On top of that experience by which you have chosen to, in your full awareness, to experience and to understand, you're also playing around with a lot of karma. Karma associated with your other parallel lives that you've energetically created. Also in terms of karma in relationship to the family, heritage, ancestral karma that which you have become part of in your physical DNA life. All those things are part of you, and they take precedent over what your ego desire is if it doesn't align with those things. It doesn't mean because you're not getting what you want, it doesn't mean that you're a victim, because in some version of you, at a higher aspect to you, chose to experience something in this life. And what you're trying to create via the law of attraction in this particular life may not align with those things. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a victim. It just means that what you're trying to achieve based on what you were looking at and what you were incarnated with takes a higher priority than trying to manifest relationship, $1 billion, a Ferrari, a nice car, whatever. All right? That's number one. Okay. Number two, as you, a vibrational being, as a fragment of Source, you are always connected to Source, right? And as you move up in vibration, there's more aspects to you and more understanding as you will. The same relates to knowledge and to experience. All things are known at Source energy. All things are known at all that there is, the Great Spirit. All things are known, all knowledge, all wisdom is attained at that point. You are, in essence, fragmented, stepped down vibrationally in this fraction of which you are Source. The same is true for knowledge. Knowledge is stepped down, and the wisdom of that knowledge is stepped down as well into this human basic vessel that which you are experiencing. And much like ourselves, the denser the vibration, the harder it is for us to maintain the higher vibration of the knowledge. So you think about this in terms of like your dreams. When you go to sleep, right? Everything's happening. It's so quick vibrationally, but when you bring it back into your body, it's hard to retain all that high vibrational experience, right? And it becomes a little bit of it's hard to retain, it's hard to remember, it's hard to understand what happened, and it feels a little bit of a combobulated mess. Kind of the same situation when you have high vibrational knowledge and wisdom that you had way up in the ethers here, coming down into your human body, little difficult to retain some of that. And because of the human earthly plane that we exist on, the identity of remembering and our connection is a bit severed, and that's why separation feels so real here in our reality. But either way, when I talk about this particular thing, what I mean to say is this: what you're going through, if you're having all this frustration, if you're really struggling at this moment, and you don't see why you're going through it, or you don't understand what's happening, and you're really frustrated, it's because you don't have the wisdom quite yet to understand what you're going through. You're not at that place by which the knowledge and experience of what you have already gone through, that wisdom already exists at a different vibration, at a higher vibration, means that what you're going through is to walk through those steps for you as source, seeking to understand itself to that place of knowledge and wisdom that is already there. You just don't have the wisdom yet to understand what you're going through. You'll get there. It's just in this denser vibration, you're not quite there yet. So that wisdom, that knowledge is attained, which already occurred, which is already up there, its source, and already available, by which you are walking through this lagging, denser vibration, which is your experience and all the frustration you're going through that. So understand that the trust and love is there. You just may not understand the wisdom quite yet. How many of us have gone through things, not understanding the true meaning by why we are going through that, only to find on the other end, oh, that's why I'm going through all that. That's why all the law of attraction was occurring for me to go through all that, because I didn't have the awareness to understand the truth of what was occurring. And now that I'm here, I finally have the wisdom to understand and to move forward. All right? You don't have the wisdom quite yet. The third thing I'll say about the law of attraction is regarding form. Form. So many of us are tied up into form. Form. Form stops us from receiving what we want. All right. I want to take this analogy around the present. Many of you guys are trying to create something or manifest something in your reality, and you're putting a form or a limitation on that idea of what the universe can deliver to you. Right? You're saying, I want a present from the universe, and that present needs to be in a white box with a black ribbon and a bow on top. And it needs to be a square box, right? And then you go out in the world and you're looking for that square box, a square white box with a black ribbon with the bow on top. And all you're seeing is all these other gifts that are occurring in the world, but not your box. The universe knows more about you than you know about yourself at this time, at this density. You don't know what you don't know. And when you put form on it, you are literally taking the infinite way the universe can bring to you and narrowing it down into a little sliver, into this one little thing that says, this is the only way Source can deliver these things. Okay? Source knows what you want. It doesn't speak in the idea of matter and form of how you want it to look. It speaks into the experience and the vibrational thing which the law of attraction is trying to bring to you via the things you're holding on to. It knows what you're looking to experience and what you want to experience. But when you put something in its face and you limit and restrict it, you're stopping yourself from receiving things from the universe. In fact, the universe can bring you a square box that perhaps is a black box with a white ribbon and a bow on top. But because you've got your idea on that form of the white box, square, black ribbon with a bow, you've missed out on this gift. In fact, it doesn't even need to come in a box. It could come in a different color. It may not even come in a bow. It could come in a bag. It can come in, someone's hands. Whatever. Because of form, you've blocked yourself from receiving anything from the universe that could be a vibrational match to you. But because of what you think it should feel like, look like, and be, you've stopped the universe from giving you everything else that it thinks it can give you to give you that vibrational experience. The last thing I'll say here around this idea of law of attraction. There's two different spectrums here, what we're talking about. We're talking about spirit, source energy, and we're talking about matter. Okay? Spirit is form and order. Matter is chaos. It's just the nature of the beast. That's why the law of attraction works. When you focus on spirit, and spirit has intention, matter, which is chaos, becomes form in alignment with spirit. What spirit source seeks to understand itself, matter of chaos becomes form, therefore spirit can seek to understand itself. Spirit commands matter because it's source. When you focus on the materialism, when you take the hijacked version of the law of attraction, you are focusing on chaos. You're focusing on the matter, which is chaos, with no form, with no spirit influencing it at all. That is why you create so much frustration in your reality when you focus on materialism, because it's chaos. It's chaotic. It's just matter with no spirit giving you command. You become commanded by materialism, which is just chaos. And that causes all this frustration. No rhyme, no reason, no understanding, because you're focusing on the materialism. Spirit, matter. Form, chaos. If you want to have more peace and more influence and to drive the life that which is the law of attraction, focus on spirit. Matter will fall in line in form. Okay? You got to look at yourself here. You got to look at yourself. And this is why the law of attraction is so critical and constant in our reality. It is to help us understand ourselves. If you are in alignment with frustration about the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is bringing you a bunch of experiences that don't make you feel good, there is a reason behind it. And for you to scapegoat it onto the law of attraction, which is a constant in our reality, which is the mechanism by which we understand ourselves, means you don't quite have the wisdom yet to understand what you're going through. And when you are able to get to that point, which is only done by looking inward, seeking the answers, understanding yourself, being honest and truthful, and allowing yourself to flow with spirit rather than materialism, you'll find yourself in a different place, perhaps, around your identity with the law of attraction, and maybe find more peace and joy with it. All right? You may find yourself in a place where there's more love and joy for the spirit and what offers you, and form just happens to be a byproduct of that love and that light and that joy. All right? As a Reiki master, I can tell you that almost all your ailments, almost all the illnesses that you experience is an energetic block or stuck energy that is manifesting via the law of attraction into your physical body, so that you as the creator can seek to understand what beliefs you're holding on to that are limiting or blocking you from being more flow and free and joyful. These blocks in your chakras, these blocks in your energies manifest physically, because the physical follows the energetics, right? Same thing with spirit and form. Energy first, physical after. The physical body follows the etheric body by which you put stuck energy into, because you're denying something, you're denying an emotion, you have limited beliefs, and they are manifesting in the physical body in the areas where the chakras are. If you don't know anything about the chakras and what I'm talking about, go check out my book. I talk about that in chapter 4. These things are not by accident. They are there not by random events. It is by purpose. It is by intention. You may not have full awareness. You may not have the wisdom quite yet to understand it, but the law of attraction is working. And when you are able to go inward to unlock the key to who you are, you'll be able to find more peace and understanding and wisdom for which you are going through. I hope that helps you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I love you. Check out my book and services at spiritualdaosith.com. And feel free to reach out to me. Email if you guys have any questions at spiritualdaosith@gmail.com. And I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.